Page 323. 323. 323, 17. Special right triangles.
So you already gave her a link for an interview?
No. Isabel, we keep Cornell notes, so you need to fold it or draw the line. If you don't know, Jasmine next to you can help you.
Is she a new student?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know she was a new student. We have a new student?
Mm-hmm. Don't correct her.
Okay. She's trying to.
Emily, I want to be your friend.
Yeah. I like making friends.
But keep the old. Oh my gosh, that truck is annoying me. Alright, how do I use relationship among the sides of a special right triangle? Today is the 23rd. But page 40, what? 9?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Alright, so how do I use the relationship among the sides of a special right triangle? There's actually two types of special right triangles. We'll go over both of them today. There's a little bit of memorization you're going to do. It's not too bad. If you've been in tutorial groups, not everyone teaches it the same, just so you know. So,
It was really complicated.
it's really easy, I promise.
It was like boxes, and I was like, what is this?
It's easy, I promise. It's because you didn't know it yet.
She's like, help me. I'm like, I'm not going to do it.
Who do they have?
Huh?
Who do they have?
Logan and the others. Was it Logan? Yeah.
I don't know how Anderson teaches it. I don't know. Logan might do what I'm about to do, but I'm not sure. Ready? Zoom in. Alright, there are two types of special right triangles. The first one is a 45 degree, 45 degree, 90 degree triangle.
Oh, I remember these.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember what goes with it? Starts with a D.
You know what? We're just taking this one step at a time.
That's why we're back.
So nice.
Alright, so 45, 45, 90. I will not say 45 degree, I'll say 45, 45, 90. So your 45, 45, 90 degree triangle has obviously a 90 degree. That means these two angles are 45 degrees each, which makes it what kind of triangle?
45. Hopefully.
It's a right triangle, but what kind of other triangle is it? Isosceles, so it makes it isosceles. Two angles are congruent, therefore the two sides are also what? Congruent.
Okay, I don't understand that.
Don't worry about it. You're going to set up a chart for me. It's called degree ratio opposite. Degree ratio opposite. The degree are the degrees in your triangle. It goes from least to greatest. So it's going to say 45, 45, 90. Your ratio will be memorized. It is always for 45, 45, 90. It's 1, 1, radical 2.
Wait, isn't this the codes?
That's soon. That's Monday.
Percentages.
It's easy. Emily, it's not that hard. You weren't ready for it. The opposite comes from the triangle. We will fill in the opposite when we actually get to the examples. From now, just know opposite comes from the triangle. Now, what does it mean to be opposite? So straight what? Across. So remember that. So I'm going to go straight across. I'm going to go across from the 90 degrees, across from the 45, across from the 45. Do you understand? Okay, I'll show you this when we get to examples. So, this must be memorized. Do you understand? This will never change on a 45, 45, 90. Got it? We're going to abbreviate it. We're not going to write out degree, ratio, opposite. We're going to put DRO. Same thing. Okay? If I ask you what the letter D stands for, you better tell me it stands for degrees. Good? All right, next one. Second type. 30, 60, 90. 30 degree, 60 degree, 90 degree triangle. This one's a little different. This is 2x, this is x, and this is x radical 3. Now, what side is the longest side on a right triangle?
C.
Opposite from the 90 degree.
Which is called the
hypotenuse.
hypotenuse. So your longest side is always your hypotenuse, so remember that. Your shortest side, so if the longest side is across from a 90 degree angle, what do you think the shortest side is going to be?
Leg.
Which leg?
The 31.
The 31. So across from the 30 degree angle is this one, which is your shortest leg. Why is that the shortest side? Let's think about this. If I take the door and I open it, but I only open it 30 degrees, is it going to be open a lot or a little? A little. Now if I open it 60 degrees, what happens?
You open a lot.
Opens more, and 90 degrees is all the way open, right?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So 30 degrees is a little bit, 60 degrees is a little bit more, but 90 degrees is all the way open. So the 30 degree side is always your smallest side. Make sense? Okay. This one you're also going to memorize as well, your degree, ratio, opposite. Where's the whiteboard over there? You need to put it back, please. Thank you. Your degree will be least to greatest. So least one is 30, then 60, last is 90. Thank you, Jess. Your ratio is always the same. 1, radical 3, 2. It is also least to greatest. Just so you know, radical 3 is smaller than 2. If I plug radical 3 in the calculator, it's probably 1.5 or so. I don't know. Okay? Opposite still comes from where? Comes from the triangle. Questions? Let's do the notes. Example time. Alright, here's my example. I want you to decide if you have a 45, 45, 90 or a 30, 60, 90. Is it 30, 60, 90 or 45, 45, 90? How do you know?
Yeah, it's decided are the same.
Because what? The two sides are the same. So the two sides are the same, that means your base angles are the same. So we do have a 45, 45, 90. So we're going to put D, R, O. Degrees are what? 45, 45, 90. Ratio is always the same. What is it?
1, 1.
1, 1, radical 2. Ready? Here comes the opposite part. Pay attention and watch. This is 45 degrees, correct? Opposite of it is this side over here. What's this side labeled as? That's where that goes. Go to the other angle, which is also 45 degrees. If I go opposite, what do I get? X. If I put my pencil on 90 degrees and go opposite, what do I get? Do you think we're done?
I hope.
I have an X, therefore I probably should what for it?
Solve.
Oh, solve. That's a good idea. Sometimes you're just so smart. Pay attention. Here we go. Because the ratio for 45, 45, 90 is 1, 1, radical 2. That I just need to know. All right, pay attention. You're going to set up a proportion. Now, let's look. I could use these two, but does that make sense to use these two right here? Why? Because you have two x's. That doesn't make sense. So I'm going to use these two instead, yeah? So watch. Watch the magic, guys.
Watching.
It's easy. 1 over radical 2 equals x over 2 radical 2.
That was what I missed.
Yes, sir. Got the proportion? Do we understand where it came from?
Those were passing.
Other questions on where the proportion came from? Okay. Now let's solve it. Solve it by how? Okay. So what do I get? Radical 2x equals 2 radical 2. How do I solve for x?
Do you divide?
I divide by what?
Radical 2.
Radical 2 is not the same as 2. Make sure you know that. When I divide by radical 2, what happens over here?
Just have a 2. Oh, that's cross out.
That cancels and you get x. What happens over here?
Cross out.
And you get what? Okay.
What the? That's it.
What?
So stupid.
This isn't math.
It's gonna get harder, I know it.
It is gonna get harder.
Like this much.
Like,
That's a lot.
That's a
Yours
lot.
this much is like our this much.
This much for her is like to us.
Now, let's think about this. If x is 2, that means this side is what?
2.
And this side is what?
2.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Making sure.
Wow.
Next.
So that's it.
Yeah.
Now we have to do the other one. Who knows if the other one's hard?
It's not hard.
Just wait until we get the sine, cosine, tangent thing.
Stop scaring people. It is not hard, Emily.
I'm probably gonna retake IM2 next year.
Do it.
Don't.
I did not want to take it.
There's your picture. Write down what you know.
I think it's 45, 45, 90.
No, it's not.
I know.
Why would you say that?
Because she's special.
Very.
No, obviously, because the 30's right there.
Duh.
That's
Okay, just write what you know. Write your DRO. No, DRO. Okay. You should have set up degree, ratio, opposite. Under degree, you should have what? 30, 60, 90. Under ratio, I should have what? 1 radical 3, 2. Okay, this is the part you need to pay attention. Across from 30 degrees is what? Wonderful. Across from 60 degrees is obviously the last one, which is what? And across from 90 degrees is? Do you see anything?
No.
Let's put a line. There's nothing there.
Seriously?
Yep, seriously.
And what if there is something?
Then we put what is. So you can't cross multiply with a line, so I'm not obviously using this line. What is my proportion going to be? 1 over radical 3 equals radical 3 over x. I'm using the top part. So how do I solve this?
Wait, what? Cross multiply?
Cross multiply. It's not the same as cross cancel. So I get x equals radical 3 times radical 3, correct? And what is radical 3 times radical 3? Well, square root of 9, and square root of 9 is what?
Wow.
Fancy.
Incarnation.
Easy now?
And there's, I feel like I've just learned everything.
I feel so
I
good.
learned it.
I feel like I've learned the meaning of life.
I'm ready for the big
That's actually.
Thanks. I tried.
Shh. There you go. Set it up.
My toes are so ugly right now.
Set it up. Emily, shh.
Do you not get it?
Just set it up, guys. Ready? You should have degree, ratio, opposite. Under degree is what? 30, 60, 90. Under ratio is what? 1 radical 3, 2. From the other side of the paper that I told you had to memorize.
Okay. Your big butt
Just always really that.
Oh.
We good? You just gotta know it. Opposite, this is where you actually look at the triangle. Opposite of 30 degrees is what? 9. Opposite of 60 degrees? X. Opposite of 90 degrees? Y. Got it? Okay, now here comes the solving. How many times are you going to solve this problem? Twice. Why twice?
Because you have to find x and
Because I have an X and another Y, so I have to do the problem twice. Now, when I do this problem, I just bit myself. I do all the time. How do I set up the first proportion?
1 over radical 3 equals 9 over x.
Good. How are you going to set up the second proportion?
1 over 2, 9 over y.
Very good.
Wow.
Don't use a 1 with a variable. Do you understand? So some people said, well, after we solve this, let's just use that answer to do this. Don't. The reason why is this. Let's just pretend you may get x wrong. Right? If you use the wrong answer to then solve for y, now y is wrong. And you could have had one right and the other one wrong. Do you understand? So don't use that. Use what you were given. So always use what you were given. 1 over 1 equals 9 is one of the ones that was given. Got it?
Why did you do 1 over 2?
She just explained why.
I missed it.
You go explain it.
Because if you use the radical over 2, because you had to find the answer first, right? But it's wrong. Got it.
Okay. Now let's cross multiply. We get x equals what? 9 radical 3. Wonderful.
Oh.
That's it?
Yep. Over here, we cross multiply and y gives us what? Wonderful.
I hate myself.
Alright, here we go. The only thing I'm going to go over is this. I went over how to multiply radicals, how to divide radicals, correct? You know how to simplify radicals because we've done that for a million years now. Now the only thing you probably forgot is how to do this one. So let's do a remember. Remember when you had radical 7 over radical 2. Can you leave radical 7 over radical 2? Is this okay?
No.
No what?
It's not okay.
What's not okay? Which radical? Good. You can never have a radical in the denominator. Write that down. You can never have a radical in the denominator. If you do, we got to get rid of it. Understood?
Yeah.
Now, here we go. Who remembers how to get rid of the radical? Yes? Yeah. Multiply by radical 2. Isabel is correct. So when I multiply by radical 2 over radical 2, what do I get on the top? 14 or radical 4?
Radical 4.
Oh, radical 14. What do I get in the denominator? Radical 4. And I know the square root of 4 gives us what? 2. So I get square root of 14 over 2. Am I allowed to reduce those?
Oh, no, it's because it's radical.
Thank you. Understood? So now, I have gone over how to multiply radicals here. Yes? I went over how to not leave it in the denominator here. And I went on how to divide here. So I've hit all 3. Understood?
Wow.
Questions?
No.
Comments?
No.
Here's your homework.
In the book,
In your book, page 461. Yes, G stands for geometry. We're not going to touch that algebra 2 book probably ever.
Or the algebra one.
Well, you don't have those books.
page
3 through 5.
61.
8 through 16 and number 18. So 3 through 5, 8 through 16, and number 18. Really quick. Two of your problems. I think it's number 9 or number 10. There is a chart. And it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Guess what? That's 5 separate problems. Do you understand? So what I would do, and for most of you, this is what you should do, make triangles for each one of those. So go 9A, 9B, 9C. Do you understand? Make them separate problems. 4 or 5. Got it? Are there questions? I think it's 9 and 10. You'll see them. They have little boxes and it'll be like A, B, C, D, like that. So you'll see it. Any questions? Okay, you have time. You can get the book. You can take a picture and you can work on it, or you can keep the book out. I don't care. Don't forget you have summary and you have questions. Yes? Tomorrow's going to be a review. It's going to be a worksheet. So you can, are you not here? Just come pick it up. Not even the fight song? Push that one this way.
Why?
Push. She said please.
Please. And thank you.
Alright, go. Get work done.
Hard.
Work done. Don't forget to put the paper in the boxes, please. Yeah, you can come in the morning.
Is she like, why are you guys laughing? So did you like transfer here?
Yeah.
From where?
Huntington Beach.
Wow.